NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Double time, alert, alert, 3 down.
Ready. Counter. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on 1st down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage, but the big man setting the tone physically.
Set. 10-2 saw. Pilot, 64, weak.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2. Third and 1.
TJ Green on the tackle.
You don't want that.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 1.
On the ready.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1.
Strikes 3. 218, chopper.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
70, Indy, Greystone, Travis.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard
line.
Off of play action, Hill. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
16 yards. That's another Steelers first down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
You ready?
50 seconds.
General West.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
Fire.
Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
60 outlaw. Protein spill.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Hill. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Snap.
Here's Hill. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 40. This is Logan. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
At the 41-yard line.
Check 55 to Mike.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
On 2nd down, it's Logan. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Here we go. Here we go. Monty Wolf. 55.
On 3rd down, Logan. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And some room to roam now. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3-and-out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the 1st down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit, too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings
Check
up
59.
2nd and 3.
Mike is 59.
At the
Mike is 59.
49-yard line.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo!
Topper! Topper! Get it!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Slam, slam, slam.
Here's Hill. He'll get that one complete to counter.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Watch it slap, watch it slap.
They'll run it with Coleman. And he's got this down to the 35. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. This is Coleman. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down now, it's Coleman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, it looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. And he will be marked down short of the 1st as they get to him at the 29. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Devin McCourty brings him down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
He's checking.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Jackson now. And all is picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And down he goes. A sack. They sack him back across midfield at about the 48-yard line. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Hill. And they're waving pressure too much. Down he goes. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. 3rd and long. It's Hill. On the screen, this is Coleman. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, this snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the 2nd half.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
2nd and 10 at the 25.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
And he stopped immediately there. There on the tackle, Minkah Fitzpatrick. They go play action to Jackson. Dancing to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. 39 yards there, a big one.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They run it again with Hill. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Justice Hill, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a give right side, Coleman. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Tackle made by Tyus Bowser.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here we go, set. 22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Get.
Throwing on second down. Hill. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
12 yards the pick up there. Good for a Raven first. They run with Logan. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
On second down, Hill. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
We just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On third down, Jackson. This is caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. They run again with Logan. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go down as a loss of 5. And it brings up third down.
That kind of loss of yards, that is usually an error by the guy carrying the ball. At the 1-yard line, you can't get too fancy there. You just got to try and plow forward and get what you can.
It's just a disaster. You go back to the 6 after you were at the 1. Eluding the pressure right. Touchdown, Ravens. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. This will be taken short. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Got an open man, it's Washington. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Now Hill looking to throw on first. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the 2-point conversion. Field goals are going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started. Nice game. Got some positive momentum going. They're on their way.
Now a loose football. Coleman lost it. And it's picked up by the Ravens. He's at the 30. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track? And now this is intercepted. My goodness. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
They'll go with Hill here on first down. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Steelers' 40-yard line.
Here's Hill one more time. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll run it here with Logan. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On third down, it's Hill. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. It'll be a gain of 2. And speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Tucker's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, Bill?
This will be taken very short. And this does not end well as he's going to be out of bounds here at his own 5-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, Haywood. Now.
Throwing again. Hill. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 27-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Going again on the ground here with Hill. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Hill. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Baltimore, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.